Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Fa la 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 la. La 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 la. Couple of days we won't be hearing Christmas music, so I'm getting it out of my system now. Truth be known, it was out of my system a few days ago, but that's just between all of us. I'm getting Christmased out, but that's what happens when you put your tree up the day after Halloween. Good morning, Zach Walker. How are you? Good morning, Connie. I said hi to Katie. Just me made it in. Just me posted the link and everything for the show. She never misses. Never misses. Justice Jane, hello. Hello, Apple Pips. I was talking to Mary Glick before the show. I'm happy to have a live too. I felt like a fish out of water yesterday without doing a live. I was like, okay. Wonder what's going on. Wonder what everyone's doing. Wonder what my friends are up to. So today, even though it is 7:30 in the morning, I could have done this at 4 in the morning. You guys know I get up early, Golden Girl style. The weather has gotten in the way of the Christmas fun for today, but that's okay. That's okay. Hold on. Zach, yesterday was Zach's 33rd birthday. Well, if I'd known that, Zach. Also, today is Mermaid's birthday. Today is Mermaid's birthday, and yesterday was Zach's birthday. Let's tell them happy birthday. And for your birthday, you get ice, snow, and subarctic temperatures, Zach. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? That's the word. That is the word of the day. Airports are shutting down. 100 million Americans are being affected, as far down as El Paso, Texas. These are people that don't own socks. Like me, I hate socks, guys, and I've been wearing socks for a few weeks. As you know, the cold weather came in way too early in the season for me. If you are in Minnesota, God be with you, okay? They said at 3 o'clock this afternoon, negative 51-degree wind chill. I don't own anything wool. If I did, I'd have it on. Wool socks, wool underwear. Somebody said, Brooks, you need battery-operated underwear. Well, I need that too, but that's for a different thing. That'd be like Valentine all the time in my seat. Hang on, Lorraine said from South Texas. Yeah, hey, anything under 60, I'm complaining. So you can just imagine me right now. You can just, I just can't handle it. I cannot. Do not like the cold. I love Christmas. I do. I like Christmas up until about 2 o'clock Christmas Day, and then I'm done. Yesterday in the Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group, I posted, I was out shopping. My son's in from San Antonio and my daughter-in-law. And we went out and just had a nice lunch and just went to some different stores and heard the Christmas music and everything. Lo and behold, they have Valentine's Day stuff out. Didn't even wait for Mary's water to break. And we've already got the Valentine's Day stuff out. I took a picture and put it in the group, and I said, this is not true crime related, but it should be a crime because we haven't even had Christmas. You've got to be kidding me. Good morning, allegedly, with Brittany. Good morning, Plant Diva. Boo sheet. Wind chill for Northeast Alabama expected to be negative 20. And what a messed up time of year for that. It's Christmas time. Christmas time. Diggler said we could have Valentine's Day all year round, LOL. With battery operated underwear, we damn sure would. Rexy, guess they should have just leave every what thank you, Rexy. Just have in the store. Just have here's your Halloween aisle, here's your Valentine aisle. Here, you know, there's got to be a store that's just a mishmash of holiday mall is what I would call it. Of course, for me, floor 1 would be nothing but Christmas. But then upstairs, there's so many malls that are out of business, this would be a thing. Then floor 2, you'd have your Halloween store, your St. Patrick's. Can't leave out Uncle Sam. So, of course, we'd have our, let's think about this, guys. Yeah. Then we'd have our Independence Day, 4th of July store. Easter Bunny year round. I'm telling you, that would really put Walmart, Target, Michael's, that'd put them in the pinch with our holiday mall. You bet it would. You bet. So now, with this case, the Idaho 4, which I hate calling them that, but if you know, you can't miss any time because either someone is making up ridiculous shit or something happened. Well, in this case, there's just some things that people won't let go. So we're going to let it go today and move on to our holiday mall because I think we've hit something, guys. So for the people at Fox and News Nation, YouTubers I don't care about. I really don't. And I feel bad because people will tell me, hey, did you see over on this channel or this channel or this channel? And I say, well, where did they get that? Where did they hear that? Because I refuse to believe that law enforcement bypasses their own platform, because they all have a Facebook, they have a Twitter, some have a YouTube channel, that they bypass their own platforms and their local media and go straight to YouTube channels. They go straight to creators. So I always ask, and I'm not being rude, I just want to know, where did they get it? They had to have gotten it somewhere. Okay, so in this case, with the freaking wrecked Elantra that was found in Eugene, Oregon. If we look on the screen, let's go through this together. News Nation needs to know. Fox needs to know. I think Fox gave up on it. But you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. News Nation. Okay, this came out on the 20th, and they had actually already said it before. Even Cherry Piss understands this, okay? Even Cherry Piss understands that the impounded, wrecked Elantra in Eugene, Oregon has nothing to do with this case. Now, did it look like it could have? Hell yeah, it did. Of course it needs to be looked into. Of course they need to do their due diligence. But once they say we've checked it out and there's nothing there, then stop. Then stop. This wrecked car, they made contact with the female driver. People get upset if you say it could be a female that did this, but I'm going to say it again. Don't discount a female doing this. They made contact with the female driver. She's from Colorado. It's all sorted out. This is basically a tit on a boar hog. Okay? There's nothing here. So let's read it. Investigators are aware of a Hyundai Elantra located in Eugene, Oregon. Okay, so they know. No reason to be calling the tip line about the wrecked Elantra in Eugene, Oregon. No reason. Okay, they're aware. So we check. They know about it. They have spoken. Okay, and have spoken with the owner. So check that off too, because some people are calling saying, well, you know about it. Have you found the owner? Maybe you should look into it. They're going as far as to call the tip line and say, well, if you get the VIN number, you can find the owner. Done, done, and done. Done, done, and done. Investigators are aware of a Hyundai Elantra located in Eugene, Oregon, and have spoken with the owner. The vehicle was involved in a collision and subsequently impounded. The vehicle is registered out of Colorado, and the female owner is not believed to have any relation to any property in Moscow, Idaho, or the ongoing murder investigations. The public is asked to stop contacting the owner. We have a two-part problem on our hands. Quinny has just put it in a nutshell. Thank you, Quinny. The stupidity of some amazes me. Yes, if you have a tip, you should absolutely call the tip line. But after they have publicly said we've checked into it, all's well, all's good in the hood, all's good under the wrecked hood. We're good. You don't need to contact the owner of the car, who has stated to multiple people, yes, they reached out to me. Yes, I've heard that the landlord lives in Colorado, but I don't know the landlord. I'm in no way, shape, or form related to the landlord. I don't know this person. This person actually wasn't really even well aware that there was a quadruple murder off campus in Moscow, Idaho. Quinny said, I'm still seeing some. Let's not get that rumor started. Moscow police are saying they have made contact with the owner, and this car is not the car they're looking for. So they're still looking for the car. This might actually be the car. This is cell phone footage taken, a cell phone photo of a computer screen showing a white car on Highway 8 in Moscow, Idaho, around 3:45 a.m. on November 13th, according to a clerk who found it while reviewing security footage. This might be the car. That's what they're still looking for, the car. So I did hear that Brian Enton kind of in passing while talking said they're not this car in Eugene, Oregon is no big deal now. Quinny, to answer your question, yes. Quinny said, brings me to a question. Are you surprised the landlord hasn't made a short statement? Oh, you bet I am. I also want to know more about, and some people say it's nothing, but I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I want to know more about the internal locks in the house. We've heard that the roommates that survived, that they had their doors locked. So you're telling me that Ethan and Xana, who are a couple, didn't think to lock their door? You're telling me that Madison and Kaylee didn't lock their door? I've seen pictures of two different locks. I've seen one that looks just like a regular bedroom lock, that you just like turn the little thing and it locks it. Not very well. You could get in really fast if you wanted to. And then I've seen almost like a keypad, like you have at a hotel. So I don't know for sure what locks they have because I'm seeing two different pictures. So I don't know. But I do want to know more about it. And I do want to know. I mean, some people say that the landlord has nothing to do with it. I don't think the landlord is a suspect or anything like that. But I'm surprised that he or she hasn't made a formal comment. That's just me, though. I do think it's weird. And this could be it too, Slim. I'm thinking the police told the landlord, just like the roommates, to shush. Now, they have said they have made contact with the landlord. Now, mind you, that was a month ago, and that the landlord is fully cooperating. Now, of course, some people take that the wrong way. They're like, oh, the landlord's cooperating. You know what that means? That just means the landlord's cooperating. That means the landlord is telling them everybody who has lived in that house, everyone who inquired about the house, everyone who wanted to lease but backed out, everyone who filled out a credit application. That's what that means. It doesn't mean fully cooperating as if the landlord knows the killer. That's just what I think. Aubrey said, I agree about the locks. Xana had her father there about a lock. I want to know about that too. Xana's mother said that Xana's father was working on one of the locks. Most people assume it's the lock to Xana's bedroom. For one, I think it's crazy. And I know people are going to say, well, he's just that kind of dad. That's fine. Great. I think it's crazy to work on other people's property, for one. And like I said, we rent a condo, and the maintenance people are lazy, okay? But if I mention plumbing or security, they get ambitious really quick. So when people say that this landlord wouldn't have people that work on the house, he does. He's got an old Rolodex, and if there's something that goes wrong with that house, he's got to keep up his end of the lease. Someone's there to fix it. Granted, it's cheaper for him if Xana's dad does it, but that's just nuts. I just think it's nuts. Oh, this is a question that's been coming up quite a bit. When all is said and done, what are they going to do with the house? Do you think anybody would rent? Do you think anybody would rent it? Laura said, in all caps, it's really not crazy. All leases are different. My lease states anything under $100. Well, that's true too. But when you're talking about the security of the property, if you're telling them my front door won't lock, and then you get broke into and you have renter's insurance, that becomes a big liability. Just my opinion, though. Oh, healing nature. I get it. But what if they weren't comfortable with the maintenance man? That's another thing we've all been talking about, just basically anybody that comes up that's connected to the victims. And of course, I mean, I don't come on here and blare out suspects and say, I think it's this person or that person, because I don't. I just don't. But it could very well be someone that has never, ever, ever been brought up before. And someone that one of the four didn't even really realize was pissed at him. You know, kind of like a seething anger underneath type of thing. It kind of goes back to this, the hours leading up to this. The hours leading up. Here's the timeline. 1 a.m., the surviving roommates arrive. I've always thought this is odd, and I'm not saying that they're suspects, that the surviving roommates who were out separately both arrived home at the same time. That's a weird coincidence to me. It'd be one thing if Dylan got home at 1 a.m. and Bethany came rolling in around, 1:15, but they say they got home at the same time, but they were in separate places. They were not together that night. 1:45 a.m., Ethan and Xana arrived. Well, Ethan and Xana were together. 1:56, Kaylee and Madison arrived. Well, they were out together. So I don't know if they're saying 1 a.m., they're just lumping it together, or if they truly got home at the same time. But to me, that's weird. I know some people don't like me saying that, but to me, that's weird. They were not together that night, but they showed up at the same time. Just weird. All right, I'm going to get to some comments and then get on with the show. I'm going to do a poll real quick, though. Do you think, and it could be none of the above, this is related to the hours leading up to Kaylee and Madison, what they had going on, or maybe something that went on at the frat party? There was a fight at the frat party that Xana had to break up. Or just your thoughts in general. Okay, Circus on Crime said people are taking their kids out of school, so they already know there's a danger in the town. This is from the last show or the show before, I can't remember which one, where we were saying that, well, Steve in particular, Kaylee's father, is saying that he wants more information out, mainly for public safety. He even went as far as to say that they owe it to, there's girls in the town, he said, that need to be aware. Well, I said, many of you agreed with me, that the fact that a quadruple murder happened off campus, that the university is saying, we understand if you don't want to come back, you can do your school remotely. Not everyone can do that, though, but you get my drift. That they're telling people, walk in pairs, let people know where you're at. If you're going to be gone for a few hours, make sure you let someone know you're going to be, off the map for a little bit. That sizes it up. That sizes it up. Right there, we know that that's your public alert. Me personally, I don't think they're going to do much more than that because of the pressure that they would get from the university. It's like we talked the other day. The dean of the school is the mayor of Amityville. He's not shutting down the beaches. He doesn't want anyone to even talk about a shark out there. But Chief Fry, well, he's the chief of Amityville. He's screaming, we've got to do more, but we can't. So when Steve said he didn't call the police cowards, he was talking about an attorney. I have a feeling that attorney's taking up more for the university than for what the family wants, meaning Kaylee's family, because the other families aren't speaking out. They aren't saying anything. Good morning, Tiffany. Tiffany was having a problem with the members link. Let me put it up. Hang on. Because if you guys missed the members show the other day, well, then I feel sorry for you because it was a blast. We had so much fun. Oh, well, I said I'd put it up. Goodness. Copy. Paste. Try that, Tiffany. And anybody else. Miranda said, Minnesota is closing businesses today. I'd close the whole state of Minnesota. That's just me. -51 wind chill is insane. Okay, so anyway, what Circus on Crime is saying, they don't need to give the case file out or even release more information because it's already well known in that town that there could be a killer on the loose. That person could still be in that town. Now, law enforcement is actually, the law enforcement in Moscow, they can't go outside of their jurisdiction, but the FBI can go anywhere. They can go all over the state. They can go all over the country. They're going outside of Moscow. They're going to all the way up to, what'd they say, Troy, Idaho, and a few surrounding towns. Interesting. Bluebonnet said, Steve told Fox that he has a son that goes to school there. Why is your child still at Murder University if there's a public danger? Not only Steve has a child that goes to school there, it is known, and we don't want to bother these people. We don't want to reach out to them. We didn't know them before. We don't need to know them now. Ethan's brother went back to school after Thanksgiving. I didn't talk to Ethan's brother, but many people that go to school there and went back said Ethan's brother goes. He went back after Thanksgiving. So you've got two sets of parents that allowed their own child to go back to school there with their child being murdered off campus. That tells me that law enforcement is telling them more. That's just my assumption. Just my assumption, just my opinion. That they are telling them. I haven't, Christina, I don't know about Ethan's sister. Ethan's brother, there's pictures of him walking around campus. He went back. Because like I said, some of those classes, I don't know what classes Ethan's brother takes. I don't need to know. But some classes you can't do remotely. So would you send your child back there? And I'm no way, shape, or form saying that they're bad parents. I just think that the police has given them way more of a reassurance than we're led to believe by the media. Because these parents seem like us. These are responsible, hardworking, tax-paying citizens. They love their kids. They're heartbroken. They're grief-stricken. These aren't, the parents in this case aren't like Candace Wells, if you know what I mean. They're not like Candace Wells. So it tells me that they have been reassured more than we have been led to believe by the media. Because every time the media, News Nation and Fox in particular, get Steve on the hook, they always have to worm that in there. So let's talk about the investigation and where the investigation is. Where do you sit with how the investigation's going, Steve? Steve, I know in the past you've had your problems with how the investigation's going. How do you feel today, Steve? And of course, he's on the hook because he said things before and he feels that he has to say something. But in this clip right here with Fox, he says he has a son that goes there.
It's pretty clear. Even, the coroner said this was a very strong individual. Two people had defensive wounds, overpowered those people. So I'm just trying to steer the conversation into a way. So I have another son. I have another person who's going to school there, and I don't want him walking around those streets if it's not safe. So, we know as a family what we're looking for. And, if they see an individual looking a certain way, I'm telling my kids, steer clear of that.
I'm telling my kids, steer clear of that. Well, what kids, Steve? What kids? You guys don't even know the roommates. He said, my son, then he goes, another person. So Steve has a child that still goes to University of Idaho. I hope by now University of Idaho has waived his tuition. I hope by now University of Idaho has waived the tuition for Ethan's sister and brother. But you have two siblings of the victims that are still attending the school. So that tells me that the police have been reassuring the families more than what News Nation and Fox has led us to believe. Okay, many of you reached out and said, please remember there are 4 victims, not just one. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I want to say this, in every case, somebody gets more attention. I don't know. It always happens. In the case of Summer Wells, Dawn gets more attention because Dawn was the one talking all the time. Candace looks sus as you know what, but Dawn was the one doing all the talking, so it was the Donnie show. The case of Quentin Simon. Leilani's the damn murderer. Leilani's laying up in the house. She's the murderer. But since Billy was the one out talking all the time, Billy was the one that was getting the most attention. And in this case, Steve is the one talking to the media all the time. So we have to address what a victim's father says. But you guys are 100% right. There's 4 victims, not just one. Kaylee, Madison, Ethan, Xana. Or we can do it alphabetical. Ethan, Kaylee, Madison, Xana. I wonder what the other parents are thinking about all the news interviews and stuff. Again, that's just my curiosity. It has nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with anything. Hooked on Crime said something happened that night. Was it the corner club, food truck, or frat party? I'm leaning more towards Ethan being the target. I don't know why, and that could change tomorrow. Just some things I was going through. Well, for one, anyone connected to Kaylee and Madison, the police are saying they're not interested in. Thank you, Connie. They're not interested in. But we've never heard them come out and say that they're not interested in the frat. They're not interested in the frat party. They're not interested. If anything, it's been the opposite. We need to know what happened at that party, it was said one time. We haven't heard it in a while, so maybe they got it all sorted out. Sasha said, thank you, because I had posted about the Hyundai right here. I'll put it back up. She said, thank you for posting that the Elantra that they found in Eugene, Oregon is not connected to Moscow. She said, thank you, because, some people are still saying it is. It's not. Police have said it. I don't care what News Nation says. I don't care what Fox says. The police said it's not. They're saying, don't call the owner of this car anymore. Don't call us about that car anymore. We already know about it. It's taken up our time. So she said, thank you for for putting that out. It's not connected. She said, and the roommates need to be looked into again. I think when you say look into, I think everybody needs to be interviewed again and again and again and again. And particularly the roommates, because it goes without saying, they were there when this murder occurred. They were there. They were also there, if you look at the thumbnail, the hours before. They're in the picture that was taken of the 6 of them. You have the 4 victims and the 2 roommates. That does not make them suspects, but it could be any little weird thing that was going on that day. Any little weird thing. Hey, I haven't heard from this guy in a long time, and he just, messaged me and wants to know if we could meet up at the corner club. They could have heard or seen anything that could just be the smallest thing, because they are the two people that were there for the whole shebang. The hours leading up to, now they didn't go out with anybody, and they didn't go out with each other. They were separated. And they were there when their 4 friends were murdered. So yeah, I think they need to be interviewed again and again and again. Let's talk about when Kaylee got there on Friday. Let's start with that. And let's go all the way to when you guys made the call using the roommate's phone, but someone else used it. Let's go through everything again. That's just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. Gentleman Jack, what a cool YouTube name. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Don't ever miss a members live. It was so much fun the other day. So much fun. We missed Plant Diva. Plant Diva, were you in the members live? Plant Diva normally never misses them. I sound like a preacher. Don't ever miss a members live. Don't ever. Thank you so much. Let's all welcome Gentleman Jack. All right, so I'm going to go through what the chief said on the 20th, and then we're going to get to some other things that we all need to discuss. Hang on.
So I know there's been some questions about the leadership in this investigation. What I want people to know is this is a Moscow Police Department investigation. We're utilizing the resources of the FBI and the state police, but we pick the investigators. My command team oversees this. We have 94 years of experience between us, and we're going to continue to work this case. We're going to continue to work it to the completion. We have a lot of resources that we're using.
I hate to interrupt the chief, but I have to, and I have to say thank you very much to Combat Vet. Thank you so much for your support. This right here, he's in his polo. Look at that grin. He's a grinning at you guys. That really bothers some people. That's his expression. This to me is a reaction video. Reason being is because the attorney, y'all know what attorney I'm talking about, expressed some concern because an investigator that's on this case is a younger fella. And they also they're following social media, people saying that they need to let go of the case altogether and hand it 100% over to the FBI. The FBI doesn't freaking want it. They don't want any case. Their resources are available for them, and they need them. They need a lot of them. So this is basically a reaction to he is saying, we make the decisions. This is our case. We have 95 years of experience between us. So because we have a younger detective doesn't mean he can't do his job. Does not mean that at all. I don't blame him for coming out. Personally, I would be very irritated by that accusation. That's just me. Do you guys think that there's anything wrong with a younger detective being over this case? Working on this case? Thank you very much, CR. Let's listen to it again, because this is, like I said, this is a reaction video to me. And he does not seem, well, he's smiling. He's always smiling. Irritated.
So I know there's been some questions about the leadership in this investigation. What I want people to know is this is a Moscow Police Department investigation. We're utilizing the resources of the FBI and the state police, but we pick the investigators. My command team oversees this. We have 94 years of experience between us, and we're going to continue to work this case. We're going to continue to work it to the completion. We have a lot of resources that we're utilizing, but we still ask for your help. We ask for any tips that you might have, anything that you might be able to give us. We're going to take a look at those, but be assured that this investigation is the Moscow Police Department's, and I am the chief, and we're going to follow through with this. And just know that from the very beginning of this, we've been a unified group. And we make decisions together, but those ultimately I stand behind at the end. I'd like to update you on our tips so far. We've received 7,600 email tips. We've received 4,300 phone tips. We've received 4,500 digital tips. All of this helps build the picture that we're trying to put together here to solve this case. What we want you to know is we appreciate all your help. We appreciate everything you've done, but we're asking that if you have anything additional, please just send it to us through our tip line or through our email tip line. We appreciate that.
Yeah, so keep the tips coming in, but there is nothing, all hands on deck is what I say. All hands on deck. As of last week, this is what they have. 6 detectives, which I'm going to guess 6 detectives is what they have in Moscow. We talked about the case in Prague, Oklahoma, which was failed epically. They have no detectives. They have no investigators in Prague, Oklahoma. Well, we know they have at least 6 in Moscow, and one of them happens to be a younger man. They didn't just pull a rookie out of the police academy and say, here you go, I'm going to start calling you a detective now. They have certain training to get those credentials. So we have 6 detectives and 46 investigators from the FBI, 2 behavioral analysis investigators, which that's a totally different breed of person. And then they have 13 investigators from the Idaho State Police. But they're picking on this one detective because he's a younger dude. I'd want everybody. I'd want all hands on deck. I just think that's such a ridiculous thing to pick apart. I just think it's ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, hang on. Arlene, and Arlene said 65 more FBI came in the day the car was found. 60 FBI now. I thought, yeah, like I said, this was as of last week. By the time this show's over, there could be 100 FBI. You know? I mean, truth be known, they have a lot of people looking for this one psychopath. It's not just this one young detective. This one young detective doing it. They make it, some of these people make it sound like they only have one person with the file bumbling around the town like Inspector Gadget. No, that's crazy. Crazy. And it's got to be so frustrating. You guys ever work with somebody, have a manager over you that micromanaged you? And it's like you can't sneeze, you can't go to the bathroom. You're constantly looking over your shoulder because you're being micromanaged so bad. If I was this department, I would get so irritated having to explain my damn job all the time. I would get so tired of saying, we've got it, we're investigating, we've got plenty of people, the FBI is involved. God, I would just get so tired of it. I would. All right, so the chief spoke yesterday to a local station. I always look to the local stations more than the mainstream media in these cases. Reason being is they're there for the long haul, okay? The news nations, the Fox, the CNN, eventually will move on and never look back. But the local media, they're there for the long haul. So whenever the local media says something, I really look at them. I do. I put more weight in the local media. And also, the local reporters live there. So they don't tend to make a mess. They don't shit where they eat. Okay?
It's a mystery that has kept the college town of Moscow, Idaho on edge for more than a month. The unsolved murders of 4 University of Idaho students. The frustration is also being felt by those investigating the case. Steve Patterson spoke with the chief of police about the search for answers.
6 weeks later, the murder investigation of 4 University of Idaho college students seemingly stuck in neutral. No publicly known suspects or motive, and every week, questions outweigh answers.
This is a complex case.
Despite the public's impression, Moscow Police Chief James Fry says there is, in fact, movement in the case. He just can't talk about it.
Is there anything new in the investigation?
What I can tell you is this case is not going cold. We're still receiving hundreds of tips daily. We are following up on those tips. We're still building that picture.
Police say one of those pieces is a white Hyundai Elantra.
Okay, so this was 4 hours ago. They also talked about it last night. But anyway, they're still looking for the Elantra. They're still saying we need to talk to the person that drove that Elantra. So somebody left me a comment and they said now they have Now they only have 21,999 to go through. Well, I died laughing. I died laughing at that. And I'm dying laughing when Plant Diva said, "That's a loud jacket." Oh, that is. Somebody, I have a feeling someone's grandpa died. Someone's uncle died when I saw that jacket. But anyway, where is all of this coming from? I think we're 5 weeks in. What do they mean the case is cold? What do they mean the case is going cold? And this is something else I'm seeing on News Nation, Fox, and CNN. Is the case cold? Is the case cold? What are the chances of the case going cold? What the hell are they talking about? They're there. It can't be going cold because they're stirring up shit everywhere they go. Like you said, we're getting hundreds of tips a day. 500 if you count all the people that keep calling about the wrecked car in Oregon.
Hundreds of tips daily. We are following up on those tips. We're still building that picture.
Police say one of those pieces is a white Hyundai Elantra in the area at the time of the murders. Investigators asked the public for help, who responded with thousands of tips. But hopes were dashed yesterday when police looked at a car matching the description and found it was unrelated. Another thread unraveled, the public desperate for any information.
I know that's very frustrating. It's frustrating to family members and the community, but our end goal is to bring somebody to justice.
That frustration in part leading to a surge of internet sleuths, online communities trying to crack the case themselves. Police say it's led to misinformation they've had to spend resources dispelling.
How much does that interfere with your investigation?
I think rumors always hurt us in an investigation, but it's our job to go back and utilize our resources and to continue to vet those.
But 10,000 tips later, no arrest. Only hope from a community haunted by a killer still on the loose, and a pledge from their police chief.
We are committed to this case. We're committed to solving this case.
Steve Patterson, NBC News.
On edge from
Okay, for those of you that missed the jacket, I went back and I'll put it on the screen. Call the fashion police, if you know what I mean. Okay, Gina, very, very good point. Remember, we are adults. This is an adult conversation. If you're that worried about it, there are many, many, many GoFundMes to benefit the families. Take all of that money and offer a reward. I don't think the families are that. I don't mean not concerned. I don't mean it like that. I think they're more reassured by the police than what the media is telling us, because they've all come into a little bit of money from these GoFundMes. There's no reward being offered. I think some YouTuber put one out. That doesn't matter. But who cares about that? I think they are more reassured than what the media is leading us to believe. Mary said that is some 60s jacket. Does it have shoulder pads in it? Somebody died. I'm telling you. He's even got a handkerchief. I guarantee that handkerchief has initials on it. Yep. Call the fashion police. Alexis, elbow patches. I bet it does. The sleeves are a little too short for him too. Anyone see that? We definitely have some high quality tweed going on. Shoulder pads are awesome, Gaga, because it makes my waist look thinner. I used to love the shoulder pad days. Loved them. Just Me said, leave shoulder pads in the past. Shoulder pads were awesome. If they were quality, if they were the ones that were just hanging on by one thread and then they fell down into your bra, you look like you had 3 boobs. Not those shoulder pads. No. Some people are voting for shoulder pads, some no. What about pants with stirrups on them, Just Me? Remember those? Did you like those? JC used to cut her shoulder pads out. Just me. What about pants with stirrups on them? Or is it just shoulder pads for you? I'm waiting on the answer. She's thinking about it. I need the Jeopardy music like we had for the members live. Kamari had her share of stirrup pants. You know they're going to be back. C Star said she had them, but she was skinny there. Skinny then. You're skinny now. Everything old is new again. Bell bottoms came back. I'm just waiting on jelly bracelets and jelly shoes. I know it's going to happen. Gaga read my mind. She said, bring back jelly shoes. I had every color. I swear I had every color. And it didn't matter if I was wearing a red top. I'd still have on my fluorescent pink jelly shoes. And I'd wear them out to where my toes were sticking out of them and still wear them everywhere. All right. So on the last show, we were talking about the clip with Adam. Well, not with Adam, when they were talking to Adam. And everyone said, Brooks, listen to it again. Listen to it again. I did. I get it now because I was looking at it. The audio doesn't match with the movement. Let me put it that way. So, like when it looked to me, Maddie was talking to Kate. Well, never mind. I'm just going to confuse the situation again. Anyhow, Inside Edition, of course, they have to put their 2 cents in. They have to put their 2 cents in. Oh, Mama Bear said, and Swatch watches. Did anybody have the big, huge Swatch watch that you had hung up on your wall? I never had one. And everybody has that friend that has everything. Well, one of my friends, she had everything. She had the Esprit bags in every different color. She even had a mint green one. And she had the Swatch watch that hanged on her wall. I wanted one of those so bad. I never had a Swatch watch either. I was lucky to get Cape tennis shoes. Gaga said, I agree. The voices sound distorted. Dina, I did have a see-through phone. I did have a see-through phone. Yep. All right. So Inside Edition, they're really loving this case. Don't get me wrong. I think Inside Edition's loving this case more than News Nation. So they have put their 2 cents in. And yes, now going back through it, I clearly hear Kaylee say, Maddie. It's eerie and frankly kind of hurts my heart if you really want to know the truth. Because these 2 girls, can't say anything about Hoodie Guy because nothing happened to him, although he caught some hell, didn't he? Had no idea what was just a few. You talk about life is short. You know, you watch them walking down the sidewalk talking about what just happened at the bar, and a few hours later, their lives are over. Their lives are over. It's horrible. So let's hear what Inside Edition had to say.
Who is Adam? That's what everyone wants to know today as new video emerged of victim Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan the night of their murders. The tantalizing snippet was caught on a security camera around 1:30 a.m. just before Kaylee and Madison reached this food truck where they stopped to eat that fateful night.
Oh. Okay, so I'm getting yes and no. Do you think, okay, I'll go back. I didn't realize there was an echo. Do you think Kaylee sounded a little irritated with Madison? Because I do. What did you tell Adam? Because she didn't ask her back at the bar. She asked her when they're coming around the corner on the way to the food truck. Do you think she was a little upset with her telling Adam everything? Because I think the everything is the reason. I don't mean she never want to be friends with her again, but I think the everything was the reason she got home and was calling old Jack D over and over and over again. The everything could be the reason he didn't answer the phone. Some people say it's very suspect that he didn't answer the phone. Some people said it's very suspect that they're like, no, he would have woke up. Some people never have the ringer on, believe it or not. It's the craziest thing. Some people do not use a ringer. They have no reason to talk to anyone on the phone. They check for text and stuff like that, and that's it. That's all the communication they need. But she sounds a little concerned. Let me put it that way. That could very well be the reason that she was blowing up his phone. Him not answering, because we had said a few weeks ago, maybe he just didn't want to fight with his ex at 2:30 in the morning. So for people that say it's suspect and he couldn't have slept through the ring, well, these same people say it makes perfect sense that Dylan and Bethany slept through a quadruple murder. Can somebody help me with that? That I've got the nerve of 10 people to even suggest that it's weird that Dylan and Bethany could sleep through a quadruple murder, but it's sus as F for Jack D to sleep through his ringer. So let's listen to it. I'll do something about the echo. Hang on. I think the everything is the reason they were calling him.
Who is Adam? That's what everyone wants to know today as new video emerged of victim Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan the night of their murders. The tantalizing snippet was caught on a security camera around 1:30 a.m. just before Kaylee and Madison reached this food truck where they stopped to eat that fateful night.
Hello. Hi.
It was discovered by citizen sleuths Alina Smith and Christine Cameron.
I think this gives us a clearer picture of the evening. The girls went out to have a good time at a bar, and as they left, they were happy, they were comfortable, they were at ease.
It sounds like Kaylee is annoyed at her best friend.
Something very innocent, and that could be something, you know, that you could draw your own conclusions to.
Shannon Gray, attorney for Kaylee Gonzalez's family, watched the video.
It just looks like it's Kaylee and Maddie walking home. And then I think the Adam they're referring to is just the bartender at the corner bar.
This is bartender Adam Lauda at the Corner Club Sports Bar where Kaylee and Madison were drinking the night they were stabbed to death. And this is Adam playing with Kaylee's dog, Murphy. He is not a suspect. And what about the guy in the video walking close to Kaylee and Madison? He is the same guy seen in this video at the food truck. Madison can be heard giving him a brush off. Police say they have also cleared him. And now there's this. New body cam video shows police responding to a noise complaint at the murder house on Labor Day weekend, more than 2 months before the slayings. It sure sounds like Party Central. A loud party is going on, but none of the girls are home. 2 men answer the door while other partygoers have fled.
Who does live here? What are their names?
I am actually not sure.
I've been a cop for 22 years here. I'm not stupid. Don't play dumb games with me.
The cops contact Madison Mogan by phone.
You have a house full of random people. You need to let them know that the noise needs to come down, okay?
Sounds good. I'm just frustrated. I'm also sorry once again.
The video offers further proof that lots of people had easy access to the house.
This body cam from the noise complaint, and no, I'm not saying that the guys that were at the door are responsible for the murders. I will say this, it's not a good look that they sat there and bold-faced lied to the police. Who owns a house? Oh, I don't know. Well, you know, he goes, I've been a cop here for 22 years. He's not asking for the landlord's name. He wants to know who did they get a hold of Madison? But they get a hold of Madison. Well, what was going on? Bethany was home. Bethany's on the lease. Why didn't they get Bethany to the door to get everything quiet down? Why? Let's look at this body cam again. I love the reporter. It sure sounds like Party Central. God, listen to her.
Police say they have also cleared him. And now there's this. New body cam video shows police responding to a noise complaint at the murder house on Labor Day weekend, more than 2 months before the slayings. It sure sounds like Party Central. A loud party is going on, but none of the girls are home. 2 men answer the door while other partygoers have fled.
Who does live here? What are their names? I am actually not sure. I've been a cop for 22 years here. I'm not stupid. Don't play dumb games with me.
The cops contact Madison Mogan by phone.
You have a house full of random people. You need to let them know that the noise needs to come down. Okay.
Sounds good. I'm just frustrated. I'm also so sorry once again.
The video offers further proof that lots of people had easy access to the house where the 4 were brutally murdered.
Yeah, it does. And to be so brazen as to come to the door, some people say Bethany answered the door. This clip says that these 2 guys answered the door. Anyway, the police want the noise to stop, and all they're doing is lying. They told you to shut up, so get it down. So we kind of go back to when law enforcement has come out and said it's a complex case. Well, when everybody and their dog has been in that house, literally dog, they have a lot to go through. Nobody will even come forward as to say, I know whose white car that is, or I own the white car. Yeah, I was parked there. Wouldn't that be the easy thing to do? To say, I own the white car, but I wasn't in the house. Whoever is in that car is not speaking out for a reason. Whoever is in that car is not speaking out for a reason. For sure. Now, more things have come out about Adam. He's not just the bartender. He knows them. He wasn't just waiting on them that night. This was sent to me. I believe it's on his TikTok.
Adam Latta deleted this video from his TikTok. This is Kaylee's daughter, who ex-Jack would occasionally watch. Him and Jack were good friends. What did you say to Adam? Maddie even seems upset. Jack should be questioned again. Adam.
I don't think Adam playing with the dog makes him a suspect. Because we just recently heard Adam's name. Nobody had never brought Adam up before. Do you think him being a bartender, being friends with Jack D, being told everything and playing with the dog makes him a suspect? To me, he's just playing with the dog.
Adam Latta deleted this video from his TikTok. This is Kaylee's daughter, who ex-Jack would occasionally watch. Him and Jack were good friends. What did you say to Adam? Maddie even seems upset. Jack should be questioned again. Adam.
I imagine Jack has been questioned a lot. I imagine Jack has had to give them a lot of information. And as far as him taking down his TikTok, that seems to happen in these cases. Not just this one. Not just this one. The minute people are thrown into the mix, they seem to shut down their social media. Dylan and Bethany had theirs totally privated, taken down, deleted before Daily Mail blasted their names out. I guarantee the police told them to do that. I don't have to be told. I don't have to be told. Now, I will say this. If Adam is Jack D's alibi, he can't be his alibi if he was at the bar till 2 a.m. They were killed between 3 and 4. Are we supposed to believe that Adam just went straight from the bar? That when the bar closes at 2 o'clock, there's no after cleanup? Usually, when a restaurant or a bar shuts down, you're there for a couple of hours after cleaning up. So if this is a true story and he's giving him an alibi, that alibi doesn't make any sense. Unless he paid somebody to do his after hours cleanup. I don't know. Delta 9 said, notice in this video, what's Murphy the dog not doing? Barking. Yeah, I don't think the dog has anything to do with it. I don't think the dog has anything. Actually, let's look at it again. That's a super good point.
Adam Latta deleted this video from his TikTok. This is Kaylee's stalker who ex-Jack would occasionally watch. Him and Jack were good friends. What can you say to Adam? Maddie even seems upset. Jack should be questioned again. Adam.
Mary said, cleanup seems to take forever, for sure. For sure. I've just never heard of a restaurant or a bar that when they shut down, everybody just grabs their stuff and walks out the door. They have to clean tables. They have to sweep. They have to fill the ketchups. They have to restock the bar, the whole 9 yards. If the corner club shuts down at 2 a.m., as reported, then he would have after work duties. And if he's Jack D's alibi, that doesn't really add up for me. Unless he's just a really fast cleaner. I don't know. Also note, I'm not any of you guys, but if anybody else happens to hear this, they don't need to be calling the corner club anymore asking to put Adam on the phone. That seems to be the new thing. Between calling the owner of the Elantra, they've been calling the freaking corner club saying, is Adam there? As if they know Adam. As if they know Adam. And as much as I hate to bring it up, I just have to. Somebody wants to be a suspect worse than Jeremy wanted to be. Jeremy didn't want to be a suspect, but somebody wants to be a suspect worse than Jeremy wanted his DNA taken. That would be Einan Harsh. He commented to himself, because I guess he can't find anyone else to talk to. He said, I also drive a white Elantra and carry a K-bar in my butthole, so you'll never see it. Well, nobody wants to check his butthole, and nobody believes that he drives a white Elantra. I think the dude walks to work. And I don't believe that he carries a K-bar in his butthole. Yes, Gaga. I think him and Jeremy Sue will be starting a band soon. Yeah. Does he have mental issues? Well, he's got a K-bar in his butthole, so I'm going to assume he's got something wrong with him. He's got a lot of problems going on. Most people do everything they can to stay off the radar. I would love if I had absolutely nothing else to do, to have an open panel with people like Jody Sue Brown, Butthole Sue here, Jeremy, Sammy Sue, Jagger Sue, and ask these people, why did you so badly want to be part of something so horrific? If I had absolutely nothing else to do, we could get all of them together. Like, you couldn't have possibly thought that you were helping the case in any way, shape, or form. And you had to have known after your first interview it was an epic fail. So why did you continue? So why did you continue forward? You know, Jody Sue has her own YouTube channel. Butthole Sue, he launched his YouTube channel. I think he's got like 300 subscribers now or something like that. He's like a fire dancer. He's a fire dancer. Kind of like Amanda's boyfriend, the MMA guy in the Debbie Collier case. He loved trolling comments. This one takes the cake. This is screaming, pick me, look at me, because I drive a white Elantra and I carry a K-bar in my butthole. Who would even say that without having a screw loose? You've got the police saying the social media rumors are really bothering the case. It's hindering the case. You guys say you don't want it to be a cold case. Well, it's sizzling hot because of people carrying K-bars in their butthole. They say quit calling us with rumors and stuff. The guy who says he heard a scream and remembered it a month later now says he drives a white Elantra, not only has a K-bar, but the weapon they're looking for is in his butthole. We now know why they cannot find the weapon. It's in his butthole. Bama, I have such a... First of all, thank you so much for the super sticker and for supporting the channel. I have such a hard time believing the dog didn't bark. A lot of people have a problem with that too. The dog didn't bark. Jack D didn't answer his phone. The roommates didn't wake up. According to Kaylee's parents, the dog doesn't bark at anybody. I've never known of a mute dog. We've got knives in buttholes and dogs that don't bark. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you. I've never seen such a thing. Have you? How does the dog not bark? I don't know. And again, this part, thank God for us, we've solved part of it. No, you don't. Look no further. Look no further for the K-bar. It's in Einan's butthole. All right, so we're good there. I don't even know what else to say about that. What did he do with the white Elantra? I guess we'll just assume this is all a big lie, right? And he's just further trying to get attention. Don't forget, this is a guy that says he heard the scream too. So, scream is a lie. Elantra is a lie because he's a broke bastard. He walks everywhere. So the Elantra is a lie. I'd be surprised if he had a driver's license. And his butthole is a lie. Craziest thing. BK Wood, how many times are you going to say butthole? Until he gets the murder weapon out of his, BK Wood? Aren't you worried about somebody that has a K-bar in their butthole, BK Wood? Crazy. Crazy times. Jenny, thank you for becoming a new YouTube member. Who is gifting memberships? Thank you, thank you. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season. Thank you so much. Chemistry Queen, thank you. You can go back and listen to the last members live and make sure you're in the next one. We're definitely 2023. That's my resolution. We're going to do more and more members lives. More and more. Hang on. What did I miss? I missed a comment. Yes, it's a very bad deal. I just want to know who. Jinbug said as much as cherry piss. Well, if you want it, you got it, if you know what I mean. If you want it, you got it. Pat K made it in. She was probably on a panel for another creator, but that's okay. We love our Mariah Pat. We love our Mariah Pat. Pat, look at the screen. Do you find anything wrong with what Einan Harsh has been saying? I don't know. Pat probably hasn't had her coffee yet, or she's sitting outside looking at her new gazebo. This is really going to do Pat up. This is really going to do Pat up. All right, so before I go, we're just going to have a little weather announcement. I am planning to do another show later this afternoon for Madalena. If for some reason I can't do it this afternoon, it will be tomorrow morning. But it's going to be an early show. It's going to be an early show before I get on with my day. I'm going to try to do it this afternoon. I got to get a hold of Sluggy Sleuth again to see if she's ready, and Kat, but I haven't. Sluggy Sleuth, she said she might be able to because there's a lot of stuff I got to get together for it. Exactly. Einan Sue. I'm just saying butthole Sue. He wants to talk about his butthole. I'm here for it all day. I'm here for it all day. Not my story. All right, so we're going to have a weather update because it is affecting 100 million Americans. While I'm playing this, please thank Chemistry Queen for your membership. Make sure you're subbed and make sure you're reminded because you do not want to miss any shows. We have too much fun together. We get too much crime solved too. We just found a murder weapon. Not every channel can say that.
100 million Americans bracing for that massive pre-Christmas storm. Depending on where you are, or just the messengers here, you could get hit with anything. Listen to this, from blizzard conditions to heavy rains, along with dangerous winds. And then following that, the deep freeze. Alex Perez is there in Chicago. Alex, it is already in the teens and it feels like 0 degrees. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Cecilia. Yeah, the feel-like temperature here in Chicago right now is about 0 degrees, but it will feel balmy compared to the end of the week once that cold Arctic air moves in. And now the cold Arctic chill will impact the Christmas holiday. Already wind chill alerts across much of the country. In parts of the plains, the temperature expected to be below 40 below zero. The feel like there, a brutal 60 below zero. Now, in addition to that deep freeze, the plains and Midwest also bracing for anywhere from a few inches of snow to more than a foot of snow. That will be followed by gusty winds that could create blizzard-like conditions here in Chicago and in a number of other cities in the storm's path. And even when this storm is done with the Midwest, it will continue marching east and creating problems for the holiday weekend there. Rebecca?
Wow, Alex, get inside, get warm, get a cocoa. We're going to.
She's so brilliant. Get inside, get warm, get a cocoa. To answer, thank you for the super sticker, Lisa. Thank you so much. I love you. By the way, Lisa, I sent you something, so you'll be getting it in a few days. Tons of snow, tons of cold. I have to answer Delena's question. I have to answer Delena's question. She wants to know if anybody has called in the butthole tip. Brace yourselves. Brace your butthole. They have. People responded to him and said, oh my God, I'm calling the tip line. I thought they were saying it in jest. I thought they were joking. They are dead on serious. They are dead on serious. So those 100 tips they get a day, that voicemail is ringing right now. Have you checked Einan's butthole? Yes. Yes, they have. Yes, they have, guys. No stone left unturned, right? Gotta be diligent. Gotta be diligent. All right, guys, you are the absolute best. That's all I've got for this one for right now. But make sure you hit the reminder because we got a lot of stuff to go through. We have an arrest sheet to go through for little Madalena's case. So you guys, please be safe today. As that woman on there said, get some cocoa. Get inside. As this guy is covered in snow, blowing snow, has icicles hanging off his butthole, and she goes, get inside and get some cocoa. I'm going to go get some cocoa, guys, and I'll see you back for the next show. You guys are the absolute best.